I love you, girl.
I got the baby a hug.
You want to give the baby a hug?
Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to tell you a story that you may have heard before, but I promise it's one you'll never forget. It's a tale of betrayal, heartbreak, and chilling secrets that unraveled in the most horrifying way imaginable. This is the story of Chris Watts and the tragedy that shook the world. So sit back and prepare yourself for a case that will leave you speechless. He had a beautiful wife, Shanann, and two adorable daughters, Bella and Celeste. Their social media feeds overflowed with pictures of family vacations, birthday celebrations, and tender moments. They were the picture of happiness, their life a carefully curated highlight reel of love and laughter. But beneath the surface a darkness was brewing, a sinister secret that would shatter the facade and reveal the monster lurking within.
I was diagnosed with some health challenges, and then I met Chris. I was in a really bad place, and I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook, and I was like, oh, what the heck, I'm never gonna meet him. Except, one thing led to another, and 8 years later, we have 2 kids, we live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Chris worked as an operator at an oil field, providing for his family. Shanann, a vivacious and ambitious woman, found success in multi-level marketing. She was the heart of the family, her energy infectious, her love for her daughters boundless. Little Bella, with her mischievous grin and infectious giggle, was the spitting image of her mother. Celeste, or Cece, as she was affectionately called, possessed a quiet sweetness that charmed everyone she met. Together they were a family living a life many envied, but envy, as they say, is a dangerous thing. The first cracks in the facade appeared gradually. Shanann, pregnant with their third child, a boy they planned to name Nico, confided to friends about growing tensions in her marriage. Chris, she revealed, seemed distant, withdrawn. The once attentive husband and father was now quiet, preoccupied. He worked long hours, she explained, the stress of his job weighing on him. But her reassurances rang hollow, a nagging feeling of unease creeping into her voice. Friends noticed a change in Chris as well. He was losing weight, his demeanor shifting from carefree to guarded. He was a man carrying a secret, a burden that seemed to grow heavier with each passing day. Rumors of infidelity swirled, whispers of another woman, but nothing concrete emerged. Still, the unease lingered, a palpable tension hanging in the air. On August 13, 2018, Shanann returned from a business trip. She was excited to be home to see her husband and daughters, but when she arrived, the house was eerily quiet. Chris and the girls were gone. Panic surged through her veins. Where were they? Why hadn't Chris answered her calls? Frantic, she reached out to friends and family, her worry escalating with each unanswered ring. The police were called. Their initial inquiries met with Chris's calm demeanor and claims of ignorance. He hadn't seen Shanann since she left for her trip, he insisted. He had no idea where she or the girls could be.
Hey, are you Chris?
Chris, yes. All the girls' blankies are gone. Their blanket they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good. Is there any of her clothes, anything like that missing?
Yeah.
It didn't look like she went through and packed up a bag or anything.
This, all that, the bombs.
She tell you anything about leaving, moving out?
Not moving out. I mean, the last time I talked to her was this morning. She said she's going to take the kids to a friend's house, and then she asked where she was going to be. And then I've texted her today and never heard anything. But cars here. Cars are here. Unless somebody came and picked her up. But the people that I know.
But his words rang hollow, his eyes betraying a flicker of something sinister that sent chills down the spines of seasoned investigators. The investigation intensified, the facade of the perfect family beginning to crumble, revealing the dark truth lurking beneath. Under the relentless pressure of the investigation and faced with mounting evidence, Chris Watts cracked. His carefully constructed mask of innocence shattered, revealing the monster hiding beneath.
How about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened? Can I go out there and talk to him? Well, I don't know that you want to do it out there, because there's a lot of people going through the halls. Should we bring him in here?
We'll step out. Okay.
Can you 2 minutes with him? Okay.
You have...
Almost a long thing, or... His polygraph failed it. Too much emotions. So I mean, they're not gonna let me go.
Is any reason why they shouldn't?
They know I had an affair.
Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on?
I don't want to protect her.
What?
I don't want to protect her.
She hurt him?
Yeah. I thought I hurt her.
You hurt her? Probably you guys want to.
When I was downstairs, they came back up and they were gone.
Did she kill him?
They were blue.
She took both from the dead.
I freaked out at the champagne with her.
So she killed Lucy C. and Bell. Took them to death.
That's rage. I'm hiding.
He confessed to the unthinkable. He had murdered his wife, Shanann, and their 2 innocent daughters. The news sent shockwaves through the community, an unspeakable horror gripping the hearts of all who knew them. His confession, delivered in a flat, emotionless voice, sent chills down the spines of seasoned investigators. He described in horrifying detail how he strangled Shanann in their bed, her last breaths a desperate struggle for life.
What have you done?
I saw on the monitor. Those covers were like pulled off and she was just laying there. She's blue. She was in there with her.
What happened?
I put my hands around my wife's neck and did that same thing. Are they in the tanks?
What's in the tanks?
It's a mixture of oil and water.
Counted how he then drove his daughters, still alive and oblivious to their mother's fate, to the oil field where he worked. There, in a moment of unimaginable cruelty, he suffocated his precious daughters, their tiny bodies discarded like trash in separate oil tanks. The discovery of the bodies sent a collective gasp of horror across the nation. Shanann was found in a shallow grave, her lifeless body a testament to the brutality of her husband's rage. The tiny bodies of Bella and Celeste, pulled from the oil tanks, painted a picture of unimaginable cruelty. The world mourned the loss of a young mother and her innocent daughters, their lives extinguished by the one person who swore to protect them. The image of their smiling faces, frozen in time on countless family photos, stood in stark contrast to the grim reality of their fate. The idyllic life they had portrayed on social media, a cruel deception. The world wept for their loss, united in grief and disbelief. The weight of justice. The trial of Chris Watts was a media spectacle, the nation captivated by the horrific details of the case. Prosecutors painted a picture of a cold and calculating killer, motivated by selfishness and a desire for a life free from the responsibilities of family. The defense dealt an impossible hand, argued for leniency, citing Watts's confession and supposed remorse. But the jury was unmoved. After a short deliberation, the jury returned with a verdict, guilty on all counts. The judge, visibly shaken by the heinous nature of the crimes, sentenced Chris Watts to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Justice, though it could not bring back Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, had been served. A community reeling. The small town of Frederick, Colorado, where the Watts family lived, was left reeling. The idyllic community, once a symbol of suburban tranquility, was now forever scarred by tragedy. Neighbors struggled to comprehend how someone they knew, someone who seemed so normal, could commit such unspeakable acts. The weight of the tragedy hung heavy in the air, a palpable sense of loss and disbelief permeating every corner of the town. Candlelight vigils were held, tears were shed, and prayers were offered for Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. The community, though broken, came together to support one another. finding solace in shared grief and a determination to honor the memory of the victims. Unanswered questions, unfathomable grief. Despite the guilty verdict and the life sentence, questions lingered. What drove Chris Watts to commit such a horrific act? What darkness resided within him that could extinguish the lives of his own flesh and blood? Some speculated about financial motives, others about infidelity, but the true answer, buried deep within the recesses of a killer's mind, remained elusive. The families of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. Their grief, raw and immeasurable, served as a constant reminder of the precious lives lost. They channeled their pain into advocacy, working tirelessly to ensure that the memory of their loved ones would never be forgotten. Remembering Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, the chilling tale of Chris Watts serves as a stark reminder that evil can lurk behind the most unassuming facades. It is a story of betrayal, of unimaginable loss, and of the enduring power of love and memory. Though the world may remember this case for its brutality, it is important to remember Shanann, Bella, and Celeste not as victims, but as the vibrant souls they were in life. May their memories serve as a beacon of light, a reminder to cherish our loved ones and to never take a single moment for granted. If you found this story moving, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more content.